Ladies and gentlemen, Ophidian Aspect are Warlock Exotic Gloves that have pretty much been stuck to my hands since Destiny 1. I covered these once before, way long ago on the channel, but I think with the upcoming sandbox changes that we're gonna see next season, they're worth talking about again. Both aggressive frame hand cannons and aggressive frame shotguns are going to see a nerf in Season 14, probably boosting the value of this exotic even further. Ophidian Aspect are often heralded as an elite Warlock exotic for PvP, often pitted against Transverse of Steps for the top slot. Me personally, I've always fallen in the Ophidian Aspect camp. This is my PvP exotic, and when I take them off, things just don't feel right. And I think that serves as a testament to just how good these really are. So we'll take a look at what exactly Ophidian Aspect can do, and run some testing to measure its benefits. But if at any point you find this video useful, helpful, or enjoyable, liking and subscribing are both greatly appreciated. As always though, feel free to wait till the video's wrapped up. Support is earned, not given, and all I ask for is a chance to earn it. But let's get into the review and take a look at how Ophidian Aspect works. Alright, here's Ophidian Aspect, with the exotic perk, Cobra Totemic. Weapons ready and reload very quickly. Melee range is extended. It sounds very simple, but it does provide a lot of benefit. In short, we're getting a boost to our weapon swap speed, our aim down sight speed, our reload speed, and the reach of our melee. So let the measurements begin. Starting off with the improved reload speeds. We'll try out two different weapons. First, we'll look at this Dire Promise that does have a pretty solid reload stat of 54. The reload time at base comes in at 2.67 seconds. If we throw a hand cannon loader mod on though, that reload speed comes down to just over 2 seconds. Now, if we take that loader mod off and equip Ophidian Aspects, that reload speed comes in at the same 2.03 seconds. So the mod and the exotic are showing the same benefit. If we have a hand cannon loader mod equipped on our Ophidian Aspects though, this will further reduce the reload speed, now seeing the gun ready to fire in 1.63 seconds. So any performance mods that you apply to your armor will stack on top of the benefits that you're going to see from Ophidian Aspect. But let's take a look at a weapon with a pathetically slow reload speed, like the Steady Hand. This one's sitting at a 10 in the reload stat. It's coming in at a very lengthy 4.12 seconds to reload the weapon. With Ophidian Aspect equipped, it's not going to be lightning fast by any means, but it does shave a full second off the reload time, now coming in just under 3.1 seconds. For the swap speed and aim down sight speed, I'm going to be using Retool Tail, simply because I have two roles that we can gather some additional information off of. The first role, which I'm going to refer to as the base role, has Slide Shot and 1-2 Punch, with no perks increasing the handling whatsoever. The second role has Quickdraw and Snapshot Sights. Here again though, nothing else is boosting the weapon's handling. We'll look at the swap speed first, and I do have this paired up with my Steady Hand that does have pretty low marks in handling. But since Shotgun 120 Hand Cannon is a pretty popular pairing in the current sandbox, I figure it's a good set to look at. I took a look at 4 different combinations. The base roll. The base roll with Ophidian Aspect equipped. The Quickdraw roll. And then the Quickdraw roll with Ophidian Aspect. Initially, I just tried to clock these out, but we're looking at very, very tight margins. So I slowed things way down to 10% of that of the original speed, and I gave you a side-by-side comparison here. And I did everything in my power to line the initial starting frame up perfectly. I'm sure you've noticed that the base roll is definitely lagging behind. And in the bottom right corner, you can see that the combination of Quickdraw and Ophidian Aspect working together provide a very fast weapon swap speed. But the effects of Quickdraw on its own and Ophidian Aspects on its own are very close. If you pay attention to the muzzle flash or the ejection of the shell, you can see that Quickdraw does edge out the effect of Ophidian Aspect, just barely. And we'll take a look at the same two rolls for the aim down sight speed. Keep in mind though, Quickdraw, as of right now, does provide a flat boost to weapon handling. This is going to change next season, but right now, Snapshot Sights and Quickdraw are working together. You can see in the bottom left corner that Ophidian Aspect is helping out with our base roll, but in the top right, that combination of Quickdraw and Snapshot Sights is just more than Ophidian Aspect can keep up with, currently. And one last thing to touch on before we move off of the handling aspect, because I know you probably want to see it. Fellwinters with the Quickdraw swap speed. I looked at the base swap speed, the swap speed with Ophidian Aspect, the swap speed with a dexterity mod, and the Quickdraw swap speed. In real time, aside from the base, everything looks very close. Slowing things down to 10% speed again. Quickdraw alone in the bottom right corner definitely fires first, followed by Ophidian Aspect in the bottom left, just edging out the shotgun dexterity mod because it's boosting the handling of our primary as well. So while Ophidian Aspect won't quite match the swap speed of Quickdraw on Fellwinters, when Quickdraw is removed from the weapon next season, Ophidian Aspect is going to be very valuable if you're committed to aggressive frame shotguns. But what if we throw a dexterity mod on Ophidian Aspect? Can we match Quickdraw? Essentially, yes. Now slowing things down, Quickdraw still just edges it out, but in real time, captured at 60 frames per second, the difference was a single frame. Last piece of the puzzle. The melee range. A base, uncharged melee for a Warlock will connect from 5.5 to 6 meters. This is slightly further than that of the other two classes. With Ophidian Aspect equipped, we will be adding 1 meter to the base range, now being able to strike a target from 6.5 to 7 meters. I also wanted to take a look at our top tree and bottom tree Stormcaller melees, because at one point they did have additional range built in. But with both top tree and bottom tree, I wasn't able to connect any further out than I normally would with Ophidian Aspect equipped. 7-ish meters still seem to be the cap. One more thing to take note of though, watch how Ophidian Aspect pulls us toward the target more than a standard melee does. Without the exotic equipped, we do pull into the target a little bit, but we still end up a couple meters away. When we throw Ophidian Aspect back on though and melee the target, it drops us directly in their face. And I think that covers the functionality aspects pretty well, so now that you know how it works, let's look at why you would want to use it. Alright, real quick, for use in PvE, I'm not going to sit here and tell you that this is a great exotic. It doesn't recharge your super or your abilities any quicker, it won't up your damage output in a direct manner, and there's no unique function that changes how one of your class abilities behaves. But maybe swapping between weapons more quickly or seeing a faster reload speed can passively help you apply more damage to a target. Given your other exotic options though, in PvE, I really just don't think Ophidian Aspect's worth using. This exotic really feels like it was crafted and tuned with the Crucible in mind. It's a subclass neutral exotic, so you don't have to worry about building your gameplay around a certain elemental type. And it's always working. There's nothing to proc, there's nothing to activate. Anytime you're swapping between weapons, reloading a weapon, or aiming down sights, Ophidian Aspect is helping you. And it really makes any weapon that you equip feel so much better. Weapons with slow handling and poor reload speeds will see a significant boost from Ophidian Aspect alone. And even if you're running weapons with good stats in those categories, Ophidian Aspect is still going to benefit them, making them feel even more agile. Being able to swap to your offhand weapon quickly can save your life if you're getting pushed. The ability to aim down sights just a shade faster than your opponent and land the first shot can be the difference between winning and losing a gunfight. A faster reload is going to get you ready for the next engagement quicker. Or will let you re-engage quicker if you empty out and have to reload mid-gunfight. Also, Ophidian Aspects are great if you're going into the Crucible with a pop and swap game plan, allowing you to access your cleanup weapon more quickly. There's so many benefits to having your guns ready to go when you need them. On top of that, Ophidian Aspect can free up some energy points in your loadout. I mean, just look at the cost of sniper rifle or hand cannon dexterity and loader mods. They're expensive. With Ophidian Aspect, you're getting the same benefit, so throw on some charge with light mods or pile on some mods to help your ability regen. Then the melee range. 1 meter on paper might not sound like a lot, but it's a benefit that you're really going to feel in game. I've been using Ophidian Aspect for a long time, and I'm still taken back every now and again when I land a melee right on the edge of that maximum range. And the exaggerated pull from the melee is a pretty cool feature. Dropping yourself right in a target's personal space might not seem like a good idea, but this does a couple of things for us. Due to the stupid good targeting on Warlock melees, all you really need to do is press the button again, and that follow-up melee is almost guaranteed to connect. If you're running a shotgun, your target is now officially barrel stuffed. Pull the trigger. And this also creates a little bit of misdirection. Landing your melee is almost like a short-range teleport, so when you land that strike and end up a few meters away from where the enemy player thinks you should be, it can cause a brief moment of hesitation, leaving the window open for you to finish the job. And one last thing to consider, moving into Season 14 with the recently announced sandbox changes. Aggressive frame shotguns are losing Quickdraw. So your Fellwinters, your Astral Horizon, or any other aggressive frame shotguns released in the future might not feel quite as responsive without that perk. Ophidian Aspect is going to help negate this pain point to a certain extent. I don't think it's going to alleviate all of it, but it's certainly going to help the cause. And our aggressive frame hand cannons are going to lose a chunk of their optimal range. So you're going to need to play in a little bit tighter to achieve full damage. I think they're still going to be a solid archetype, but what are their main weaknesses? Reload and handling. What does Ophidian Aspect boost? Reload and handling. So when playing in a little closer to the action with an aggressive frame hand cannon, pushing up those stats could be extremely beneficial. And if you're looking to do that, Ophidian Aspect has you covered. But hey, if you did enjoy this video, feel free to leave it a like, and consider subscribing to the Ironworker Gaming channel to catch more Destiny 2 content presented by yours truly. If you'd like to contact me, you can look for Ironworker814 on Twitter, join our community Discord, link will be in the description, or comment down below and I will do my best to get back to you. And with all that being said, I'd like to thank you for taking the time out of your day to check out this armor breakdown. You guys are awesome, and I will catch you on the next one.